Okay, so this is actually the second time that we're doing the gaming test for the brand new Samsung Galaxy S23 FE, because yesterday while I was doing this test, the game just kept on crashing. And yeah, it crashed for many times. So what I'm gonna do here is to redo all of those tests, because surprisingly that bug was just gone for whatever reason. So we'll start off with the specs of this phone first. So if we're gonna check the HW Info app, we can see this phone is using the Exynos 2200 chipset, which is a chipset that I didn't get to test last year because we got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Then what I'm gonna do next is to, within settings menu, once we enable developers option, go all the way down, enable GPU watch. We have also enabled the FPS meter here. You can click add here, add a custom widget, then you can select what you want to see. Then what we're gonna do next is to head into game launcher, go into game booster, go all the way down. Alternate game performance management mode should be enabled so that we can get the best performance possible. And then we also got game plugins. You can install this via the Galaxy Store. Then once we've done that, we just tap into it, go into any game, make sure your graphics quality and your FPS is at maximum so that you're getting the highest render resolution possible. I'm gonna redo this, so when I hit apply, I can apply to all games and make sure this new setting gets applied. Yes. So once we have done that, we can finally launch a game. But before we do that, I have to show you that the battery bypass does work. So I have performed the ritual already, and as you can see here, pause USB power delivery option. Since I don't have a charger plugged in, this option is grayed out, but once I plug in the charger, we can enable this option. If you want to know how you can enable this battery bypass feature, watch our video at the top right corner there, where I go through the ritual. So what we're gonna do now is to finally head into Genshin Impact to try it out. Hopefully it doesn't crash this time. Yeah, it crashed again. When I tried this game earlier, it didn't crash, so I'm not sure what happened just now. It did crash. Maybe it will crash this time too, I'm not too sure, but we'll try it out. Okay, the game seems to be working fine. The initial lagging here is because it needs to load all of those things for the first time once you launch the game, which is expected. So once everything is loaded, it's gonna be a lot smoother than before, but it's not gonna be that smooth since we are getting fluctuating frame rates between high 30s to around 45 FPS. So not looking good. But do remember, the Exynos 2200 is indeed a flagship chipset from last year, not this year. Yeah, the Exynos 2200 was released like early 2022, so it's like a year and 10 months or 9 months, somewhere around that. So in the world of technology, a year and 9 months is like a century old. So let's quickly do our game test here. I'm gonna do some daily commissions, that's it.
Let me beat you up. I see everything. Illusion shattered.
Oh.
Committed to memory.
There are definitely frame drops here and there, but oh, I forgot to show you the graphical quality that I'm using. I'm gonna play it at the highest graphical settings as what we have shown here. Everything is at the highest and the frame rate is also at 60 FPS. I just want to push this chipset as much as possible so that I know what we can get from this chipset. Yeah, the frame drops of everything loading is quite bizarre here. You can just see it kind of has a very sharp dip in terms of its FPS. Not sure what's happening.
There is no escape. Raise my both hands.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power. Shine.
Illusion shattered.
Let's light it up.
Grow. Inazuma shines eternal.
This is annoying. Okay, at least that solves the issue. So I'm gonna head to the last commission. Shrine cleanup. And you can see the amount of lag when it's trying to load everything. I'm not sure why for this phone in particular the loading speed seems to be the issue that's bottlenecking everything. That's funny. We will definitely do a more in-depth test of this in our full review, so do stay tuned for that as well. But as of now, we are only testing the performance while gaming. The smoothness, what kind of experience are you gonna get? Okay, so now we have done the daily commissions, we might as well go fight some bosses. I like to, play around with this crab boss because it's easy, it's fun, so why not? Yeah, the loading time is just a bit funny here. Oh, I don't have ult for my Raiden. I need to charge that up.
Shine down.
No, my sword. Ring cutter.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Everybody stand back.
Illusion shattered. Shine down. Grow.
Let's light it up.
Illusion shattered.
Okay, so crab is down. We will head to the next boss because this was rather unsatisfying since I don't have my ult going on there. So this is the next boss that I like to, hop in and kind of defeat for a while.
Shine down.
At least my Raiden's circle thing is full now, so I think that's gonna be making things a lot quicker, I hope. We need to wait for this boss to come out.
I see everything. Make yourself at home.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let me leave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate.
Torn to oblivion.
Hyper Bloom is such a nice team to have. Oh, there we go. It's a real quick one cycle boss. So the frame rate while killing bosses, let's be honest here, that's what's important here, since the most intensive moment of this game is when you're kind of defeating bosses and whatnot. At least the frame rate during those situations are considered to be smooth. We are getting around 30 something, 40 something FPS, which I consider to be fine. In the meantime, let's take a leisurely stroll around Fontaine to see how's the frame rate. As you can see, yeah, 30 something FPS, I would consider that to be our average, which is kind of low in comparison with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, but it's not completely bad, I would say. Oh yeah, we're getting sub 30 when we are fighting enemies, so yeah, below 30 FPS is such a slideshow. What's happening? Yep, we're getting like 20 something FPS. I think it has started to thermal throttle because I do feel it to be rather hot. We do have our thermal camera right beside here, so I will take the temperature in a while. But this is definitely not looking good, and we are consistently staying at around 20 something FPS. It's best if you lower it to somewhere around high or even medium settings. That would be better, or just play it at the default render resolution of I forgot what's the number. It's 14 something something by 663 if I'm not wrong. I'll leave the number on the screen here for you guys to see. And that should be enough time. We should return back to the crab boss. So I'm just doing this for fun as an extra test before we take the temperature of the device.
Everyone hold hands.
Rain outlines your fate. Know my soul.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Everybody stand back. Witness the power of God.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
Okay, one cycle. So we are getting somewhere around 30 something FPS here, which again I would still consider it to be fine. At least it's consistent during this kind of dungeony situations, but once we are in the overworld, especially in Fontaine and I presume the Sumeru Desert, then the frame rate will drop quite a lot. So like what I'm showing here, once we're out in the open, the frame rate should drop in a while, any moment now. Oh. Yeah, there we go. That's the frame rate drop. Let's defeat this thing and see how things go. What the heck?
There is no escape. Committed to memory.
Let's light it up.
This guy is overpowered. So yes, in this area, after defeating the enemy, we're getting somewhere around less than 30 FPS. Again, not ideal, so play this game using this phone at either medium or high graphical quality. Do not go for the highest, or just lower the render resolution. And I can definitely feel this phone to be rather hot, so our thermal camera reports that the bottom part is around 38 degrees Celsius. That's where my hand was, so the temperature might be higher than it is supposed to be. Then at the top here, okay, 42 degrees Celsius. Not the highest in terms of temperature, but it's definitely warm, hot. You can feel that heat.
Might we add a small detour to our adventure?
Yeah, you can shut up now. But yeah. So around this area is where the chipset is supposed to be, and it is just right beside the camera bump. That is where the motherboard and the chipset is supposed to be, around this area here. So for the rear, the hottest spot is around 40 degrees, somewhere around there. But again, the temperature might be high since I was resting my finger there for the entire time anyway. But do expect to feel around 40 degrees Celsius on your skin. And at the bottom rear here is around 37. So overall temperatures a bit high, I would say, but it's still gonna be fine if you're gonna play games at this temperature. It's just that the performance coming out of the Exynos 2200 chipset is, I feel, if I remember correctly, it is a tad bit lower than the 8 Gen 1, so yeah. Oh yeah, I did discover something weird as well, so let me show you something. The phone is at 88% battery now, so I will plug in the charger and continue playing the game. Watch what happens. I will just fast forward to when I stop playing and let you guys see the battery level after I've played games. So I'll just continue Genshin Impact for a while. I'll just go farm some stuff. Not sure what I'll be farming, but I'll be doing some farming. So just farm some artifacts because why not? So I'm getting some rather decent elemental mastery. That's good. Then this is trash, and now we can see the percent of battery has dropped. Remember, I said that I'm gonna play the game continuously while charging the phone at 88% battery, but now it is at 87. So let's continue on for a while and then I'll let you see what's truly happening. Let's go, let's get more trash. Is this trash? Elemental Mastery. Whatever, at least I get some attack percent. This is total rubbish, and we'll continue. So as you can see, the battery is continuously dropping. So we're now at 86%. So yeah, if you're gonna charge your phone while you're playing games, then do expect the battery level to drop if you're using the same settings as mine that I've shown here. I'm not sure if this will happen if you lower the settings, but it's something that you should take note of. You can enable the battery bypass feature to save yourself from these kind of problems. So again, you can perform the ritual as shown on the top right corner there. That video is very important. But once we enable that, we can turn on this option. Then we can hop back into the game. Then the battery percentage will not move. So just to show you, I will go through this domain one more time, and the battery percentage will not drop. I'll just do that real quick. I think it dropped for 1%. I don't know. Is it? So we play around some more, and as you can see, the battery percentage is still at 85%. It didn't drop because of that power delivery option that we enabled earlier. Finally, it's time to move on to the next game. So for the next game, it's gonna be PUBG Mobile. It's gonna be a real quick one because this game is just very unoptimized. So for the Exynos 2200 on this phone, we can go smooth extreme. I will use this because high frame rates are important for shooter games, and we'll just hop into a game real quick. This phone will handle PUBG Mobile at 60 FPS with no issues at all, and I'll just show you real quick here. As we can see, render resolution is at 1552 by 720 pixels, so 720p is what we're gonna get. Again, we have already maximized the render resolution, so 720p is all we get. This game is just that unoptimized, and yeah, this game needs a really big overhaul. Yeah, like what I said, this phone will handle PUBG Mobile 60 FPS, not gonna be an issue at all. We'll just walk around some more before we head into PUBG New State, so yeah. Okay, I think it's time to jump to PUBG New State. This phone, 60 FPS, not gonna be an issue. So for PUBG New State, we can do quite a lot of things here. So as we can see, settings menu, graphics, we can go 90 FPS, ultra, high, everything at the highest. And I'm just gonna use this setting because I do want to push the phone as much as possible. Let's just go into a game and see how this phone performs. The render resolution is at 1784 by 824, which is higher than 720p, which is surprising. So yeah. Ooh, we're getting around 60 FPS when we are diving down from the plane, which is surprising. But let's see what's the frame rate like when we land down on the ground. Where are they? Man, I can't see anyone. Okay, so for PUBG New State, you can push everything to the highest graphical settings and still get above 60 FPS, which is good. Just don't expect 90 FPS on this phone, which is still rather okay, I presume. We just stay a bit longer before we jump into COD Mobile, and I think there's still a few enemies here. Oh, there's one. Ouch. There's more. You know what? There's one more enemy here. What? There's one? Yeah, there's one. Okay, it's time to jump to the next game then. Okay, so for COD Mobile, what we're getting here is maximum frame rate at high graphical quality. Okay, not bad. Then I'm just gonna turn on everything if we can. Anti-aliasing, super resolution turn on, variable shading turn off. That's gonna push the game to its limits. Wow, the render resolution, is it really that high? And at the highest possible graphical quality, with this render resolution, is really gonna push the Exynos 2200 to its limits. So let's see how this phone performs. Oh, but we can't get 60 FPS consistently at such a high render resolution with that graphical quality. Which is okay, we're getting around 50 something FPS, which is good. At least it's consistent, not choppy or, you know, like a slideshow or whatever. Shouldn't have done that, but okay. Oh no, no. Considering all of the graphical quality that we're using, we are literally pushing everything to the maximum. We get around 60 FPS, which is okay, not too bad, but definitely could have been better. Okay, so for Mobile Legends, the graphical quality, where's the settings button now? It's here. So the highest that we can go is high for both frame rate and graphics, so 60 FPS. Let's hop into a game and try it out. Again, it's not gonna be any issues for this phone at all, so let's just do a quick test.
That once little girl is gonna
An
save
enemy has been slain. Double kill. The gun represents justice. When pointing at the bad guys. Mega kill.
Yeah, this phone is gonna handle Mobile Legends 60 FPS, not an issue at all. So yeah, should we even proceed? I don't know. I think we should just end this. It's not gonna be any major problems playing this game anyway.
The gun represents justice. When pointing at the bad guys.
that once little girl is gonna save
Unstoppable.
is gonna save
An
someone.
enemy has been slain. The gun
Yeah, we should end this. It's not gonna be any issues playing this game. I didn't see any lower than 50, 60 FPS. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna be an issue playing this game on this phone because I never seen a frame rate drop below 60 FPS. There are some 59s, but that's not counted.
The gun represents justice.
Yeah, I should end it here.
Pointing at the bad guys. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. You have been slain.
So yeah, that's the gaming test of the new Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. Overall, I would say that it's kind of decent. It kind of reminds me of a mid-range smartphone. There are a lot of features packed in, like the battery bypass feature and whatnot. But yeah, as what we shown in Genshin Impact, if you're gonna play this game using this phone at the highest graphical quality with the maximum render resolution, then the phone is gonna stutter quite a lot. So do lower your expectations by either lowering the graphical quality or lowering the render resolution. Either one should do fine, or if you want, then just lower two of them to get a much better frame rate or more consistent frame rate, I suppose. And yeah, overall performance is decent, but I wouldn't say that it's better than the 8th Gen 1. It's kind of comparable in that sense. But yeah, there are also some weird quirks like the battery level dropping even though when we are plugging this phone into a charger while playing Genshin Impact. That's weird, and I think I might have an idea why there are so many frame drops in Genshin Impact. We will do many more tests and we will talk about it in our full review, so stay tuned for that. Do subscribe and we'll see you guys there. Goodbye.